And we live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Happy Monday. This is your Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. It's your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining us as always is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. Y'all say what's up to her.
Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel. James works very hard on these videos. I'm happy to be here. That's all.
And we're happy to have you. And yes, while you're subscribing to me, go ahead and subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps that I don't cover on my channel that you might want to see, like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami. We just finished Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we also have The Valley on Mrs. Best channel currently that we just started. So if you're interested in seeing those recaps, go ahead and subscribe to her channel. Show my girl some love. She deserves it because she worked just as hard as I do. So we trying to get through this YouTube thing. It's rough out here. We, on April 26th, will be officially 2 years that we have been on this YouTube journey. So, wow, great times, great times.
How do you know the date?
It's something because we did it the day after my birthday. It was so random. So, yeah. But yeah, so while you're subscribing to us, please subscribe to Shana's channel. She has two. She has her current channel and she has her new channel that she started earlier this year. She's trying to get both channels monetized. I have to touch base with her because I don't know if she has got them monetized yet. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and subscribe to her. Do your boy a solid and tell James sent you. Hi, Shani. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you, my love bug. We know you always going to be here first, and that's what we love about you. So thank you. This is my other co-host, y'all. When he trying to make the money? Who trying to make the? You talking about me? Oh, tell YouTube stop playing with me. Give me my subscriber count because I know y'all subscribe to me and they take y'all away as soon as you click. So tell them stop playing. Just saying.
You know what's funny? I should be at like 700 something subscribers, and YouTube has been like slowly removing subscribers. And at first I thought it was people, but it'll tell you if it's the person. I said, what the heck is going on? Makes no sense.
I agree. 110% I agree. It's crazy. It's just, I don't understand it. I'll never understand the politics of it, but I hope I get my just due in just time. I'm trying to be Ashton Hall around here. I know y'all making fun of him on Instagram right now, but I don't see nothing wrong with what he doing. So, oh well, y'all just hating. But anyways, right? Trust me, I'd have been there a time or two in my life. Oof. But anywho, y'all, this Real Housewives of Atlanta, this episode was crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. I am not gonna watch my mouth. I am not gonna be kind. Everybody about to get it in this live. So the show opens up with a few different montages of scenes. So in our first scene, we have Britt Edie and her husband. They are going car shopping because apparently she gets a new car every 2 years. Sounds like leasing, and I ain't got nothing against leasing because it's a very good financial decision because cars depreciate in value. Why carry the car note for so many years if you can afford to just lease? I think it's smart. She's given her husband the lowdown of what happened at Kelly's little brunch. And she was just saying how Angela came at her because right now her insurance license is now being investigated because of this whole Kenya situation with Kenya exposing things from her past. And her husband was like, yeah, Angela don't know what she's talking about. You have to have, a clean reputation, clean conscience, because you're dealing with the public and they want to make sure you have the best representative. And I'm just looking at them too like, y'all are just dumb and dumber. I'm telling you, just dumb and dumber. Because, first of all, Britt can easily tell if they are investigating her, which I'm sure they are. I'm not disputing that. But if she is going through this, she has deniability. She can say that's not her in those videos, and this is reality TV. Because we didn't see it on TV, so how do we know it was her? The people in the room did, but are you think they're really going to investigate and find all those people and have them testify on Britt's behalf? Come on. We're not going to do that. In the middle scene, we have Angela Oakley. She has Drew over, and she's telling Drew. Well, first she's getting Drew together because Drew lied and said that Michael Jordan was her cousin. Now I know Drew's related to somebody famous, but I don't think it's Michael Jordan. I forgot who it was. But we're just looking at this like, Drew, come on, stop lying. And Drew said that, my mama said he may be our cousin. And I'm just looking at Drew like, oh God. Drew just gonna lie if she open her mouth. She don't care what it talk about or what it's saying. But Angela tells Drew that Portia is having a birthday party in Nashville, and she knows that Drew wasn't invited, and she told Drew that she needs to, come with her because she feels like her and Portia at Shamia's house seemed like they were going to be cordial and okay with each other, so why not come onto the party? And I said, Angela, you is messy as hell. I'm here for it, but you're messy. I mean, you're messy as hell. I can't stand it. And in the third scene, we have Kelly. She has Cynthia, Portia, Shamia, and was there somebody else? Britt. No, Britt wasn't there. Who was that Kelly else with her? It was just Portia, Shamia, and Cynthia. I feel like somebody else was there. Y'all charge it to my heart, charge it to my mind, not my heart, because I swear I think somebody else was there. But they're talking about what happened. Portia wants to know because Portia wasn't at Kelly's event, and she wants to know what happened between um, Britt and with all the other girls. And Kelly said, well, pretty much Angela and Drew were team twirl because basically they were calling her out on, the whole situation and just saying how, they have sympathy for Kenya and what she went through when Britt was at, that event talking about she got pistols and everything and just not really giving her, the sensibility. And I didn't like that because I feel like although I didn't agree with what Kenya did, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, we're not gonna just skate past what Britt did. And that's why I like Drew and Angela holding her accountable because I feel like why in the world would Britt even think that her saying that even though she wanted to apologize, I feel like she could have put more effort in apologizing. Because she could have met on her one on one and said, look, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't, and have HR like meditated or not meditated, sorry, facilitated if you really couldn't get to her. That's all I'm saying. So, Mrs. Best, since we had all three scenes at one time and I tried to describe each one of them to the best of my abilities, how did you feel about each scene?
Um, you're doing a good job. I hate with Housewives, it's hard to recap for those who don't do YouTube because I feel like reunions are harder and episodes like this when they're everywhere. So all you can do is explain it the best way that you could. I'm gonna start with Britt Edie. I guess I'll acknowledge comments along the way. I was
This part
gonna
was funny to me because I forgot that she was looking at a Ferrari that was 450,000.
The thing of it is, so they probably are leasing. Most people who have the money, because to lease, you need good credit. You also, in addition to the good credit, generally also need a good down payment to get those leasing terms that we be seeing advertised on the TV. It makes sense to lease. Here's the thing, it's giving new money. Her husband looked real sassy. He was standing the way that a woman and or a man that is now a woman and or a man that dates men would stand. That man is sassy in all types of ways. Like he just gives gay bestie, not husband. No, that's not a dig towards the gay community since they like to make everything a problem sometimes. But he was sassy and sweet. I'm sick of Brit. I sold insurance. I did it for about 5 years, and she's full of it. If you're under investigation, generally you're not able to sell. The company will just have you answering phones and stuff. When I worked with Leona in insurance, she's someone that me and James grew up with, for those who don't know. The agency that she was at, there was somebody there being investigated, and a woman was not even allowed to sell insurance. Like she could only pretty much answer the phone and talk them through the deal and then had to move it on. I don't like Brit. She's trying to make it seem like the good character clause, which I knew she would lean into. If you have an insurance license in all 50 states, yes, there's a good character clause. But like James said, there's plausible deniability. You can say that wasn't me. And most of the time, they have no choice but to believe you because it's you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't with their side of things. So Brit is full of it. It's proof that she's milking it. The other thing is, at the time of filming this, right, you said that your insurance license was under investigation because of the situation with Kenya. like a day or two after what happened with Kenya. How the hell is the Bureau of Licensing going to know prior to this airing, even if it's on the internet and all of that? How are they going to know? Because they can't use social media and things of that nature against you. That is in there also. And I love how she's not acknowledging that. So I'm just looking at Britt like, you full of shit. We know you full of shit. Um, she's making it worse for herself. We probably could have felt bad for her and still been annoyed by her, but she's trying to milk it and continues following up with lies. Her marriage isn't going to last. I think it's a joke. Um, and if you're so serious about wanting to make babies with your husband, then why are you looking at two-seaters? That's just my opinion. Um, what else happened, James? Because I did.
So no, so the conversation with Angela and Drew, because we're gonna move on from Britt Edie and her husband. Do you feel Angela was right to invite Drew as her plus one as a guest to Portia's birthday?
Angela is a new housewife and did what she wanted. Fuck Portia's birthday, bitch. You just left this show claiming that nobody was your friend and you don't want to talk about the real. So, no, I don't think Angela was wrong. We know good and doggone well that Portia's birthday happened to fall around the time of the cast trip. She's new to Bravo and she's also Bravo's brat, in my opinion, and always has been. So, I could see Portia because she's aware of the popularity she had and she's aware of her impact on RHOA because we can't take that from her. I feel like production was like, everybody has to be invited. And she was probably like, well, then let one of them other hoes invite her. Portia don't even have a reason to be mad at Drew. You're mad and don't want somebody invited to your birthday because of what? It doesn't make sense. So if I was Angela, I would have done it too. You didn't say no because Portia could not say no because
Hmm.
production would have been like, no. So, and she tries to, I don't like it. I just don't like it because Portia, even if you try the bullshit excuse of, oh, I want my friends there. You just met Kelly. You just met Britt. You don't know them like that. You just met Angela. They were invited. So why can't Drew come? Now, yes, Drew broke girl code because until I see proof of a receipt that she talked to Dennis and Portia and Ralph about doing music. Until I see the proof of the receipt, yes, she broke girl code, but if Portia's moved on and claims to not want Dennis, then she can't expect for us to care or be on her side, especially off of the strength of what she did to Fallon and her relationship with Simon. It's like, oh, now that you're single, you want to acknowledge what's right from what's right as right and what's wrong is wrong. So, Angela, good for you. I actually like Angela. I don't like her nose, but I do like her.
I'm still on the fence because I don't know how I feel about Angela just yet. I'm kind of like I want to like her, I do, but it's this, upper echelon attitude that she has. That I'm Angela Oakley, and it's just like I can't stand that. I'm just like, oh my god.
She let her husband define her because she's so successful without him. You were living in the same penthouse as in the same building as Charles Oakley, which tells me that you had something without him if you could afford to live near him. So she's not going to stop it, but in terms of how she's like handling the women,
Hmm.
I don't mind it. Now, when it comes to her discussing herself and her own mess and how she moves, she's wishy washy. But with the women, I'm okay with her so far.
Yeah, she out of all the three of them, she's the one that annoys me the least. Out of Britt, Kelly, and her, she annoys me the least. Kelly annoys me, and Britt does too. But I like Kelly in the sense because she doesn't come off disingenuous. I will say that she definitely comes off like she, is about it. She seems fun, and I'm here for her. I really am. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is, Portia's stance with, everything that's going on with Drew at Kelly's house and the whole situation there, and her talking about the other ladies, and her talking about her birthday and everything. I don't really like how this show is really solely focused centered around Portia. It kind of makes me mad because it's like, why? Why do we need to be centered around Portia? Because all it does is that it gives the ladies just avenues just to kiss her ass and not hold her accountable. Like this whole her and Drew thing. Now, Drew had said something on social media, and I was trying to find it because I thought I was supposed to save it, but I got distracted, y'all, about how she, if we're gonna do that, I'm cousin Faith when it came to Terry or some shit like that. She had said on Twitter, and I was like, now, Drew. Now, first off, now once again, we'll talk about that later in the episode, but because you mentioned her saying that she broke girl code, and I'm trying to understand the girl code thing. I really am.
Gotta be a girl.
And
That's
I
step
feel like,
one.
yeah, that's the reason why I don't understand it, because I'm just like, what did she do exactly? Now,
It's
unless she slept with him,
and that's
then
the
that's a
thing.
different
And
story.
the thing of it is with girl code, like, and please don't come for me in the comments. Oh, it's not a gender thing. Like, it is. It just is. Like, I don't. I would never talk to nobody that my partner doesn't talk to. I would never flirt with somebody who my partner done flirted with. If it comes to doing business with somebody, if you got a child by someone or were married to that person, then all that Drew owes her is a conversation. I'm not saying Girl Code doesn't say Drew couldn't work with Dennis. Girl Code says that Drew should have gotten the okay from Portia, which Drew claims that she did. So it's like either way, regardless on how people feel about Girl Code, we can't get nowhere until Drew or Portia shows a receipt. We just not gonna get nowhere ever. I'm over it.
I agree with you 100%. We ain't gonna never get nowhere. Let's read some of these comments before I move on. Um, Looks like she's faking the funk. Oh yeah, Edie, absolutely. I don't agree with that. You just met Portia. How you gonna invite someone to her birthday trip that she planned? I agree with that too. I felt like that was kind of overstepping, but we know this is production. Production paid for this trip. Portia didn't pay for this trip. She gonna wind up using her housewife paycheck for a lease, pretty much. Because I'm trying to figure out them was some expensive car. She was looking at the Cullinan. She was looking at the Ferrari. She was looking at another car too. And I'm like, girl, these cars look way out of your budget. Come on now. Why should this have her leg in front of another man? I feel like she likes to be seen. She just likes to be seen, and it's annoying. Kelly has annoyed me from what she done to that dog. If you have that color, that's fine, but can you please do something with those long, bald-headed, white comb overs and strings of hairs? You talk about her confessional look, Shanny. Damn. But no, I didn't. That her dyeing that dog pink. I don't care. She said it's not. It's humane approved or whatever she
Just
said.
train the fucking dog. Just train the fucking dog.
I just don't like the dyeing the hair pink. That just looks so tacky and just so but also in the scene, we're going to move on. So the next thing we look at is that Drew meets up with Britt. They go out and have drinks and everything. And pretty much, it was a text message she had read to Angela that Britt invited her out for drinks because they wanted to talk and, get to know each other a little better. So Drew, pretty much asked her, did you ever sell that cat? Or did you do porn? And Britt lies. And the reason why I said she lies is because you have said that you had did recordings and you had it wiped from the internet. That's porn. Unless there's another name for it that I do not know. But she lies and said no, her and her friend just did webcam. And, that was pretty much the end of it. They were just having a conversation and everything. And that was it. There was never anything. And so it came to Britt's attention that Drew mentioned she knew the guy that Britt was giving fellatio to. And she asked Drew, do you really know him? Because that would have meant you would have had to give him that too. And Drew was like, no, I said, I may have an idea of who that is. And I said, when they played it back, I said, Drew, you definitely put it on like you knew that man. Come on now. This is what I be talking about with Drew. You making us Tauruses look bad. Because either you know the man or you don't. Is he somebody famous or is it not? Come on, Drew. We're not going to play these games with you now. And then the conversation pretty much turns to King. And y'all, I'm so sick of talking about this because if King is not going to be on the show, what's the point? What's the point of talking about this? This is old now. But she pretty much sums it up with saying that she would like to get to know Britt better and like to, understand her more and everything. Because, they seem they would get it off and hit it off well. I don't think they would hit it off well, judging the outside parameter of them. But as far as like the friends they have in common, I don't think they would get along. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that scene?
Sorry for my background, y'all. I'm cooking dinner. Um, First of all, Drew, you are hilarious. Did you sell your cat?
And the way she
That
was
was
sipping that drink, I was hollering.
because Brit is a liar. So there's interviews going around because she was very popular in the urban community. That's how she got to people like Ricky Rose and all of those things. So she is stupid. You came on a reality show, but you used to be on the podcast and stuff in the hip hop community talking about how many people you slept with, all the things that you've done. Like I've seen a few of them online and I've sent some of them to James. So Brit, you a liar. You're a liar. Because and I didn't even think about that. You buying a car and it's like, girl, can you even drive it? Is your driver's license well? Is that suspended too? We need to know. Hell, we just don't know anything. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Drew asked her the questions that were necessary. But I know this is weird. The energy I get from seeing Britt Watch What Happens Live, as well as interacting with the women, you could tell none of these women like her. She's so into herself that I don't think anyone likes her, and now she's proven herself to be a liar. Andy Cohen seemed annoyed with her. Um, I don't, I don't know. I didn't care. Any scene that has just Brit, I don't care for. She doesn't take accountability for anything, like nothing, no parts of nothing. And she spoke about the comments that she made to Kenya about the gun. She spoke about that publicly. I've never owned a gun. But then you was just on a podcast months before coming on RHOA talking about how you keep a nine with you all the time and was naming off different types of guns. So I don't know. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I was texting James like I've had enough. I'm gonna give it a few more episodes and then I'm gonna be in the comments with y'all watching instead of helping him co-host because this is a horrible season. I said it last week or whenever that shit happened with Kenya. Well, that was the finale. There goes the show. They don't have anything.
They
They don't
don't.
have they don't have anything. And if people are going to act like they have to kiss Portia's ass when they should be asking Portia, well, now that you single and you left this nation for Simon, you gonna go back? They probably don't want your ass back, Portia. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's more that they could be doing. This scene, I just didn't care for it, James. I'm so sorry. I tried to come up with something positive.
No,
I
you're
got
fine
nothing.
because it's not. Let me tell you, it's not an easy thing to. When I tell y'all this season is not easy to cover, it's not because the drama is centered around a huge piece that's no longer here. And like Shani said, I didn't want to talk about this because once again, King is not here. So why really give them the satisfaction to bring her up when she's not getting paid, when she's not doing anything for showing up on this episode in particular? But I did like this too. Like it did sound like she was celebrating, like I got her off the show. Now it's all about me. And that wasn't right. That felt like to me, it wasn't that you got her off the show. It was the fact that what she did and how low she went was unnecessary, but at the same time, because I was back and forth with it in my mind. I was like, okay, what she did, I felt like was nothing different than any other Housewives franchise did to someone else. Is it wrong? Yes, but they were playing tit for tat. So Kenya thought she was exposing an image that this lady was trying to keep hidden, and it just landed backwards. That's all that was. And the same way with Britt, Britt thought she was being threatening because she just couldn't take Kenya making fun of the ring. That now I'm starting to question if it's really real or not.
I think Britt and her husband are shady as fuck, and I think that's why her insurance license was investigated. And she hasn't posted nothing about the investigation is over. And it don't take long. It doesn't take long for them to do that because it's a field where you are in front of people. And she's very proud to get Kenya off of this show, Shani. She's extremely glad. But it's like, why are you happy to stop somebody else's income? And you have to think also how much this chick is inside her own head because you know that Kenya is a fan favorite. You know that Kenya is part of why, let's keep it honest, she's part of why the show kept going because when she left, it was going down the tube and then she came back and saved the shit. I don't know. I don't like this Brit Edie. She's gross to me. It definitely gives Zeus.
I agree.
It gives Zeus. And to say I didn't do porn, I did cam. Go to pornhub.com, okay? And click on the website. You gonna see live cam and you gonna see all them little categories and all of that as well. So if your camera videos would end up on the porn sites, therefore you are aligned with said genre of porn. So I'm sick of this girl. Just admit that you used to show your titties for a couple dollars. Just admit it. It's okay. We respect her. She wanna lie. Can't stand
Yeah,
this
she
chick.
want to lie exactly. I did not watch it yet. I planned to watch it over the weekend, but I was busy this weekend, y'all. I have a life outside of this, so unfortunately, I did not get a chance to do this. But it is
Amen.
something I do plan to watch, and I do plan to talk about this week. It is my birthday week, so videos will be limited towards the end of the week because I do have a lot of things going on. My in-laws are meeting my family. Um, let's see what else I have it on my birthday. My man want to take me away, so ooh, y'all, it's gonna be a tough one for me. So we'll see if this video happens. I'm gonna do my best. So we're gonna move on, y'all. So the next thing we have is Drew again. Her and Ralph are going to court. This is another court hearing. From what I understand, this court hearing is to make sure one of three things happen. Ralph moves out of the house. He, in fact, pays child support. And also, they want to keep the court documents and information sealed so that way it doesn't get publicly known because she is a public figure and he is now a public figure now that he's on the show. So for me, I said, okay, I knew this was going to be hell. We see both Ralph and Drew in their separate Ubers. Ralph was all like, they want to get me kicked out the house, and his cousin who was with him say a house that you paid for, and he's all like, yeah, and I'm just like, Ralph, Ralph, show the receipts because I don't believe you. I don't believe Ralph pays for that house. I just don't. I don't. What money? What income that you can't prove, according to Drew? So hey, it is what it is. That ain't my marriage. But Drew was all like, "Yeah, we're gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. Everything is in place. Everything is there." So they get to the courtroom, and the lawyer reassures her Ralph then got his third attorney. This can't be. He's just trying to confuse everything. But I got this girl. Don't worry about it. And she goes, "Yeah, I'm fully confident." And Ralph's attorney, another black lady, she said, "Oh no, she trying to change up stuff, trying to do this, do that." And I'm looking at them like, "Oh Lord, this is gonna be a mess." I wish somebody would have put a camera up in there just to peek. So it comes out that Ralph got the victory. He gets to stay in the house, and actually, the documents now are unsealed. So now the public gets to know about their divorce and everything that is going on, which I don't feel like paying $39.99 to get that information. So if anyone pays $39.99 to get Ralph and Drew's court documents of where they are in their court proceedings, feel free to drop a copy off in my DMs. But other than that, I'm not paying for that. So when they walk away, Drew's up the car. She's very upset. She sees Ralph on the corner because he's celebrating, he dancing and everything, just being ignorant as hell. And she goes, "You're an idiot. You're stupid." And I said, "Drew, you better roll up that window because Allison ain't gonna be for that. She finna tie them crochets in a knot and jump out that car. You better just tell the driver keep on going." So Drew is just upset. She, is crying because she said that she doesn't know who this man is and why he would want to do that. There's nothing, and she said there's nothing on her side that would be an endangerment or expose her in any way. But Ralph has plenty of things that he could be exposed about, and she wants to protect that information and not from her children. That's why she wants them sealed. And I don't believe Drew. I don't. I believe there's something in there about you too that you don't want known, and that's fine. I mean, that's y'all business. But I just didn't believe Drew. I believe they both have equally something to lose by having it sealed. So I feel like that's the reason why she wanted it to happen that way. So overall, I felt like it's crazy to me why he just won't move out. If he has this money that he claims he has, tell Drew to take over the mortgage and you move out and get your own place. Or Drew, why don't you get out? Like I'm sick of them too. Mrs. Vest, how did you feel about the scene?
They both broke. That's the only reason anybody would fight over this. They're both broke. I feel like Drew's trying to manipulate and gaslight us into thinking she's concerned about the kids. I don't. I do think she's concerned about her kids, but I don't think that I don't think that anything that would come out in this divorce would really impact the kids like that. Like, and these their kids are so young that by the time they're fully divorced, I doubt that the kids will even remember what's fully going on. But it gives that they're both financially struggling, which we've already suspected with Drew. I don't think she would have joined RHOA if she was still thriving in her career as she once was, and she wasn't. This is the truth. As for Ralph, he's hiding his financial records because we already know Ralph ain't shit. So I'm like, what is it that we would find out about that they think would hurt their children? Uh, I just think they're both full of it. Here's the thing: if you don't want to be with him, then baby girl, leave. You are the one with the money. He wants to keep the house. Let him keep the fucking house, and you go get something else. We would respect that a lot more than watching her fight in court and go through all of that. And Ralph knew what he was doing. He spoke to her from the car. She said, "What?" Before she told him he was an idiot. Um, sh- I'm sick of it. Like, I appreciate them for being open and sharing the divorce, but at the same time, just move out. That tells me that they don't have the funds to afford that house by themselves, but they can afford it together. And I feel like Ralph is just trying to make Drew miserable, but I also feel like he can't afford to keep up with that house by himself. And the same thing, vice versa. If you can't afford it by yourself, then don't get it together. And I think a lot of couples who are married make that mistake. You just do. That's not fair. But, whatever. We'll see at the reunion if anything comes out. Until something comes out, I don't care.
I don't either because I feel like nothing's gonna come out of this. I feel like they just gonna be stuck in this, and we're gonna go through this a whole nother season. This divorce is never gonna get finalized. It's never gonna happen that way. Let me see. Shani said if you showed those titties to Rick Ross, she has no problem putting them on the net. Damn. My question is for Drew is if you can walk around with a $5,500 bag, why can't you pay at least half for the exterminator? Um, I feel like Drew was showing that on the show to promote the maker or designer of the purse. I don't think she paid for that purse. I just don't. A lot of them do that when they start. I notice when they start putting like the prices on them. The only person I believe pays cash for her stuff is Jennifer Tilly. I believe Jennifer Tilly, whenever they do the price of her stuff, it's because she actually did pay for it. I don't believe Drew paid for that bag. I really don't. Ralph walked up in there with that big old leather satchel, suitcase, briefcase. I mean, what did you have in there if you're not bringing no paperwork or showing nothing? Yep. That third attorney was not Phaedra. Was Phaedra supposed to be representing Ralph? Is that what was supposed to be happening?
He had a different attorney in the beginning, and the woman that we saw on camera was a new attorney that he had switched to because he was losing. You could tell that the lawyer he has now is somebody who doesn't like to lose, doesn't care about the client. She just don't like to lose. Um, but yeah, he switched attorneys, which you're supposed to do if you're losing. But Ralph doesn't realize he's going to lose in the long run. He's going to have to go back to tech. Nobody in the public eye, man or woman, is going to respect him for the way he's handling this.
Not at all. I just saw an interview with Britt's ex-friend that exposed her husband as Dia. I saw that on Tasha's page. I did. I haven't watched it yet because it's believable. It is. I can believe it. That's Atlanta. So of course I can believe that that is definitely a situation or that has gone on or maybe still continue going on allegedly. But that's not hard for me to believe. If you want to see it, I think Shani was asking about this. Go to Tasha K's Instagram page. She has the interview already there. My mortgage is due. I ain't got $39.99. Okay, then I guess we won't know about Drew's case because I sure ain't paying for that. James, the DM Rock has the link. Is it okay with you for them to put it in the chat? Of course, absolutely. Twin, you out there driving? No, she in there cooking.
That's the fan. I'm right under the stove. I'm so sorry.
One wants, other one wants out, so that way they can sell the house. They would still get it as equal community property because they both bought the house together and they have, like Simon and Portia, they have 50-50 interest in it. So I don't know, Drew better than me because the for sale sign will be out there on that, right down that front yard, and we'll just split the money 50-50. Is it a rental bag? I believe it. Or I believe she decided to show it on the show. to get the promotion because that's what a lot of people do. The purse was, I know a lot of girls are going to think that purse is cute and going to go right up to that website and buy it. So, yes. No, that's the new line. This not Phaedra. Honestly, Drew would do better getting Phaedra because at least Phaedra know all 300 judges in Atlanta. So, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? So, I don't know. But that was pretty much Drew's little scene. It was crazy to say the least because I just feel like I don't know how this is going to work out for Drew, but my hopes is that, based on how Ralph showed his ass these last few seasons on this show, I hope she gets what's owed to her, but also I want Drew to stop lying. I want Drew to stop lying because this don't seem right at all. It's something that you're trying to keep out the public by you selling this divorce because you're a public figure. And as I said, anybody could pay $39.99 and get your court record. So it's like, just go ahead and put it out there because what's there to harm of you? You said there's nothing that will come out from this from your side. So what's the problem? Anyways, y'all, let's move on. So it's Portia's trip, and everyone's basically getting ready and they're going on the plane. Um, Drew's not there because she wasn't invited. And Angela is not there because she actually was late. Angela said that she left the house a little late and the traffic was not, in favor of her. So she had to catch a different flight. And the ladies didn't even know Angela wasn't even on the flight. So I guess Portia said she's taking a different flight. So they get to Nashville, which that is a city that I have yet to go to. And I don't know why I've never been to Nashville because I feel like that's the place for me, but I don't know. I just felt like, damn, I ain't never been there before. But they're going over there. Portia got them a mansion way out of town. She said, we got to be away from all the negativity or whatever she was saying. I was like, girl, you need to raise your hand because that's you. But anywho, they go and Portia's assigning everybody room. Portia gets the best room, of course. Then Shamia gets second best room. There's a room with bunk beds, which was hilarious because that went from being Kelly's room. Because Portia said, Kelly, you could be up in here because Kelly is, fun size like me. So, they said that room was perfect. But then that had become Drew's room. And they put Angela in the basement. She had a suite in the basement. So that was another era of room there. And I just thought it was funny. So the ladies all crowd around because the chef is preparing food. And then Angela gets there. But the ladies were talking about Angela and, it's just kind of just saying the things, that they heard and all this kind of stuff. And Angela, when she was walking in, she goes, because they all got quiet. And like, you know how you was in high school and everybody was talking about you, but when you walked in, they were silent. That's what I feel like the girls are doing. They're talking about me. And I said, yeah, they're talking about you. So what happened? I think she played into his hands when she was cursing him out in the car. You know what it is? She still loves him. He just won't act right. That's all that is. He just won't act right. Because to me, if she didn't love him, like, because to me, when I stop loving somebody and I want to be apart from somebody, I'm going to make headways to make sure I am gone from that person. 110%. I don't care if I got to sleep in my car. I will do it if I have to get the fuck away from you. Drew still loves that man. He just won't act right. That's all that is. Angela Santana, she looked like a character from Pokemon. Had me screaming, no, what Pokemon? The Super Mario Brothers. She looked like Yoshi. And now I can't unsee that. I didn't want to talk about it because I laughed about that for a half hour because she does look like that. And damn your kids for putting that in our minds. Now I can't leave it. But
Let that be an example to everybody. Do not get plastic surgery if you can avoid it. Because sometimes what you think you fixing about yourself will have you out here looking like a Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and or any other anime characters. And that is never a compliment.
I agree. I feel like Angela, what did she look like before? Like, what did she look like before? Like, I honestly, I don't even know if she's even someone we can Google. Like, let me see. Angela Oakley. What did she look like before the nose? Because all I'm seeing is the pictures of the nose, the new nose. I don't see the old nose anywhere. She do look like Latoya Jackson, though. She look like Latoya and Rebbie mixed together. I can't find no pictures of what she looked like before, y'all. But that nose is terrible. So the ladies talk about Angela. apparently, because Kelly was on the texting her stylist, the Tabitha coffee lookalike with the swoop, and she's saying that her stylist got pretty much all of her clothes, and she's texting them the locations and everything. And Britt brings up, "Well, Angela, we saw you at Neiman's, and you was hiding from us." And she said, "No, I actually said hi to y'all." So Britt, her confessional, said that Angela had on granny glasses, her hair was a mess, and when they said, "Angela, is that you, girl?" She was hiding from them. And Britt is putting it out there that it could be from the Botox and everything because there's, alleging that she's had it, that she just got it recently done. And she even says she had some fillers put in her nose to make it look fuller, but ended up messing with her face, ended up, backfiring on her. Mrs. Best, what do you believe? Do you believe Angela was hiding from them, or do you think that she was the one that said hi to them?
I think she probably said hi. I can't see Angela hiding from people. This woman in her first episode of this show was struggling with wig glue and had no problem exposing it. I think that the ladies, like Angela's nose does look terrible, but this is also a group of messy women. Also, the group of women that were alleging that are known to be liars. So I don't have the time. Y'all are too old for this. If they were going to cast someone though like Angela, I feel like they casted her and Cynthia so that Kenya would have someone similar in age. They need to cast more women Angela's age because Kelly and Britt are not giving. They're childish and they're new money.
I'm just saying, childish and new money. That is the best way to put it. And shut about her polyester outfit on camera. Yeah, child, these girls is immature as hell. So Angela then brings up the conversation to Portia, saying that she invited Drew on the trip and that she should be here. And everyone's looking at Angela like, how the hell you just going to invite somebody to someone else's birthday? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I would have been like, now, lady, you have lost your mind. If I'm not seeing it for this lady, I don't want her at my birthday, of all things. Of all the events to happen, no, I don't want Drew at my birthday. But we know this is production putting Angela up to it because, they don't hide the fourth wall well this season. So we know that this is production saying, hey, Drew got to be here because if Drew want her check, she got to be here. And Drew not going to mess up no money. So Drew going to be there. So, you know, Portia's all like, how you just gonna invite somebody to my party? Just being all rah rah. And I'm just like, oh God. Yeah, I'm so sick of Portia. I'm so sick of Portia. Because it's like, okay, I get what Angela did was wrong. But do you really got to do all of this? And so they go get changed for dinner. Portia has Moneta and a whole bunch of other of her friends there as well, and her sister Lauren. And they're over there, surrounding themselves at the dinner table. They first get on a mechanical bull, which was funny because the only two people that lasted almost a minute was Shamia and Kelly. And I just knew. I said, Shamia, you telling your business without telling your business. So, Mrs. Best, have you ever rode a mechanical bull?
You gonna ask me that with my husband in the room? You cute. I have ridden a mechanical bull, and I am very good at it. It take a lot for this thug to fall. Shut up, husband. Um, but yeah, I've done it. It's fun. It's really really fun. I've done it in Palo Alto.
So I have also ridden a mechanical bull and I was off of it in 2 seconds. I ain't got no downward thigh movement. If I could find the video, I'll show y'all because it was terrible. I thought I was cute and everything. So I was like, oh wow.
I got lots of practice riding, friend.
I have no practice I had no practice riding whatsoever.
No,
I have
I
nothing.
grew up riding horses here and there, and then I like to ride in the bedroom. So yeah, I can ride a bull. Why not? I'm a
I
big
thought
boy.
I thought it was cute. I really did. I thought that was a cute idea. You can't go to Nashville and not ride no mechanical bull though. So yes, I enjoyed watching them. It didn't surprise me about Shamia, but Kelly did surprise me. I wasn't surprised by Portia. Who else got on it? I don't think anyone else got on it. Um, Let me see. Oh shit, I don't even know my Facebook password. Oh well, you guys ain't gonna see it. I guess that's God's will because I'm embarrassed by it anyway. But I was gonna show y'all. But yes, these thunder thighs better hold on, girl. Right at my y'all crazy. Not thunder thighs though, but I tell y'all, I don't have no coordination. I am the worst. I am, girl. I tell y'all, well. First of all, I'm a pillow princess. I'm a pillow princess. I hate to tell my business like that. I'm a pillow princess. I don't need to move. But yes, it is. It is like that. It's like that over here. But it was fun. And then once they all get to the dinner table, Drew comes up again, and everyone's kind of, pointing a finger at Angela, inviting her. Portia has to go off and make a scene again, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know which one of Portia's friends let it out that um, Drew gave Dennis head, allegedly. But I was like, oh, I said, whoa. And Portia was like, oh, well, don't surprise me because he liked to keep his body count down. So he's like, no, I didn't fuck her. She gave me head. She gave me head. She gave me head. I'm like, he looked like that type of dude. He looked like the type of dude that would do that. But I'm just like, I believe it. I said this from episode. If y'all go back to episode 1, I believe that happened. I do. I can definitely believe it
Here's the
because
thing: if they're not gonna prove it with receipts, then shut the fuck up about it. Because one, you letting everybody know that your baby daddy is still out here wilding, which is why it didn't work with y'all too. And then two, y'all want to get rid of Kenya for so-called revenge porn, but to me, making fun of somebody for giving fellatio is just as bad, especially coming from a table full of bitches, except for Moneta, that's only relevant because of who they sucked off. Just saying. We gonna
I
talk
agree
about
with
what
her.
everybody's done? Because Shamia, before that husband, you had a list. A couple of the women at the table I've seen in other shows, and not as good things as the help in places like strip clubs. And Portia, we done seen you sleep with at least more than a handful of random men on this show, and then you slept with one that you shouldn't have slept with, married him, and now you want people to feel sorry for you. So I can't stand that. This is why I didn't want Portia back on RHOA. She's a mean girl and not a smart one. I
Definitely
would
not.
never let her live down not knowing what the actual Underground Railroad was. Whether she was joking or serious, that shit ain't funny. So she can go.
I feel like she does care. I feel like she does care. I feel like that's the whole issue here, just in a general sense. Portia does care where that eggplant goes and where it's been and who it's still currently doing. I believe she does care because honestly, and as I told y'all, she can't wrap her mind around giving him a second chance because she wants to. I could tell she really felt like she dropped the ball because she felt Simon had more money. That's the only reason why I feel like she didn't want to give Dennis the second chance. Because one, he publicly humiliated her, you know, on national TV and in the blogs. So I feel like one, she's embarrassed. But two, I feel like she felt Simon's money was longer because of what he had when she witnessed it with Fallon. So that's why she did what she did. That's my honest opinion. Because to me, it wouldn't make sense to me. I don't have that kind of attachment to somebody. Even if I had a child with somebody, I would not have that attachment if the relationship is done. We just got to co-parent, right? We just got to be friends. Why should I care about what you be doing? Whatever happened to activist Portia, where she at? There's no cause for her to fight anymore. I mean, the fight is still there, but what is her cause to fight anymore? We haven't seen this since 2020, so why would she do it now? It would make sense. Imagine your baby dad being someone else's storyline and her African prince ran into the sunset without her. Once again, this is what I'm talking about. You have to build a momentum that if you do not care, there's once again that is a child as a man you share a child with, and that yes you once were with. But at the end of the day, if you were not married to somebody, this is how I feel, y'all. This is my opinion. And I know I might be wrong, but I don't care. Unless I was married, if Portia was married to Dennis, we would be having a different conversation. But having a child with somebody does not give you equal grounds of, oh my God, I got to see your every, you know, move of life and I got to make sure I approve of it. That's not fair and that's not right. Regardless of Drew being her friend or not, it's like I don't care because it's business. Now, if Drew did
That's
creep
the
in behind the
thing.
sheets,
People don't like to hear it for their own situations, but it's a fact. Don't be just having babies with anybody because guess what? The men, especially to my women, to all the good sisters, they could go put their tilly whacker in any vagina. And if that vagina ovulates, they can get them pregnant. It doesn't make you special. And once the child is here, it still doesn't make you special. It makes the child relevant. Also, Portia is doing all of this. Girl, that man family don't even like you. So even if he did get it together and y'all got back together, no one in his family would respect you. And his money is longer than Portia's anyway. So
I just feel like yeah, Portia, as I said, Portia is just embarrassed. That's all that is. She's embarrassed. And once Portia is embarrassed, she is like, it's impossible for her to really move past it.
she
And
had that baby way too soon by that man, also, to be out here expecting the rest of us to treat it as if it's like the regular baby mama, baby daddy situations, where at least the people was in a relationship, discussed the child, things like that. Like she was barely with him before she got pregnant and engaged and all of that stuff. So she should have known. There were red flags with Dennis that she chose to ignore. Now she wants us to feel sorry for her, like he's her property. But to my knowledge, he still got the mother hose tattooed on him. So they think he mowed a property.
and you know, and the thing about it is that he may not be the relationship type. Like he may not be the relationship kind of guy. Like I think that that's another thing that maybe and I always question dudes like that. Like you could be the not relationship type, but don't get in a relationship knowing you don't want a relationship just because you don't want the girl to be out there and you want to hold her hostage and while you do what you want to do. I don't like men like that. I just don't because I feel like that's not fair. Because you wouldn't want someone to do that to you. Like, what if someone pointed out the flaws in you and then wants you out there in the streets, but they could do what they want to do? Like that's not fair. That's not right. And a lot of men do that. They don't want the women to go out there in the streets and find somebody, but then you want to, do all you want to do and make sure she stay at home. That's why I wasn't mad.
I still don't feel sorry for her because we know why she got with him. That was not
Well,
her
we all
type.
know, yeah,
It's the
we know
same
why she got
reason
with
why
Shana
she
too.
got with Cordell. Portia is a gold digger. She proves it time and time again. You can't go to a nigga and then show him that you only with him because of what he got. If a nigga know that with him because of what he got, and if he didn't have it, you wouldn't be with him, then you can't expect the motherfucker to be hella faithful and make you the best thing in his life. You cannot expect that. Portia needs accountability, and then she'll do better. And she needs to get the hell away from her mama so she can learn how to date instead of behaving like a groupie.
Well, all right. So we gonna end it on that note, y'all. They didn't really talk about much on this. I can't wait for some shit to happen. I need more shit to happen. I need to see something else. I don't know when
And
Phaedra
she
is
ain't right. Shamia should have had the biggest room. It's just my opinion.
bigger than Portia's room.
At least the same size. Hell. That's her friend, her roll dog, the only person who defended her through all her mess. I want to see Shamia treated like the royalty that she is.
She's
That's
not going
all.
to treat Shamia. She's hating on Shamia, so she's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. Shamia has the life she wants. She has the man who has legitimate funds. She has the house that Portia always wanted. She has the life that Portia always wanted. So, I'm surprised Shamia wasn't on the couch. Mm, just saying. I just feel like Portia playing Shamia face a lot. And I hate that Shamia is the people pleaser that she is because she would wake up and see it and move differently. That's why I'm glad they're not on speaking terms now because maybe she'll watch this show back and be like, yeah, you ain't really for me. 30 years of friendship just went down the drain because I can't even do it with you no more. I hope that she gets that realization real quick because I never liked that friendship to begin with. I felt like it was always one sided. And I used to get mad at Shamia because
I feel like the mom thing.
you think the mom did it. We can't hear
If
you.
I watch your mom, I don't know why I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I think if, yes. If I see your mama talk shit about me for no reason in a catty way to you, I wouldn't want to be your friend either. I don't want to deal with that. I don't
Mm.
want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. Like, because you can't argue your elder. I mean, at least in my mind, you cannot argue your elder.
And I
And the way
understand that.
that The way that Portia's mama talked about Shamia for no apparent reason, those are the worst type of parents. Yes, be by your child's side publicly, but if you know that someone's been good to your child and has supported your child through their stupid ass choices, then you don't talk down on them. You just don't. And then to also see that Shamia had went through an ectopic pregnancy, she could have lost her life, miscarriages, having to go through IVF to bring her children into the world. Shamia actually went through things. Portia went there. Portia go through a little funky ass divorce that we all knew was coming the moment she got married and expects the world. So I can't. I just can't. I can't. I can't stand Portia.
I don't think any of us like her. I just don't. I think I think we all kind of are hand in hand with how we feel about Portia because it's phony. It's fugazi. And Shani, honestly, I think she did put Shamia in the basement because when I look at Shamia going to her room in one of the scenes, it looked like she was walking downstairs or walking upstairs. One of them. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I feel like she did put her in the basement. I do. They really need to stop calling each other friends. It's toxic. It's not friendship.
And
I agree.
Portia ain't slick. That was a one up. Like you may be on this show now, but this my shit. But Portia, we don't like you. We don't.
And if that's how Portia really feels, Portia, we could honestly do away with you. We really can.
Because
Shamia could
Shamia
take
is
over this
actually a
show.
housewife.
Yeah, Shamia could take over this whole show. She really could.
She could. She could. With new and old cast members.
Yep, exactly. But that was the show, you guys. That was it. I know my recap was all over the place, but so was this episode. It was too many cut up scenes. I don't know why they're doing it like this, but I'm
Because
not
they
feeling
don't
it.
have shit without Kenya. They have nothing.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about the episode. For all those catching up playback, hey y'all, make sure you guys subscribe too. And I will see you guys on my next live. We will be on Mrs. Best channel tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Miami, and then on Wednesday for the Valley and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But what else can they do but struggle? Bravo, do better. Exactly, exactly. Thug Life, yes. Mrs. Best has left the chat, but that's all right. She got to cook dinner, and then I also have to go because I have to go see mine too. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for being here, and I will keep you guys posted if I do a Kenya live. Have a good one, y'all. Bye bye.